Welcome to the Kingdom of Shea. Today, on our very first episode, I want to walk you through an important foundational process, cleaning jars for use in an upcoming project. That project is solar distillation, and before we even begin setting up stills or working with evaporation and condensation, it's crucial to start with the right materials, and even more crucial that those materials are properly prepared. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to reflect on something that is often overlooked: the value of an empty bottle. In everyday life, a clean, empty vessel is one of the most important tools we can possess. It carries water, it preserves food, it stores medicines. In moments of scarcity or hardship, an empty bottle can be the difference between survival and loss. A simple jar, when prepared properly, becomes a gateway, allowing us to store life-sustaining resources, to safeguard purity, and to extend the reach of our own efforts. Here in the Kingdom of Shea, we recognize that even the humblest vessel holds extraordinary value. Our journey today begins with something small but vital: the preparation of jars for solar distillation. Before we begin the process, please note that this video contains demonstrations involving hot water and boiling temperatures. Always take proper care when handling heated materials to avoid burns or injury. Proceed carefully and responsibly. Today's focus is simple: how to clean your jars to ensure that when the time comes, you're working with spotless, contamination-free vessels. In the demonstration, I'll show you exactly how I clean the jars I've collected. The process begins with hot, soapy water. I allow the jars to thoroughly soak, ensuring that any dust, dirt, or residues are loosened before I even think about scraping or scrubbing. This soaking step does most of the heavy lifting, softening old labels and making sure that anything clinging to the glass can be removed easily without scratching or damaging the surface. Now, when it comes to removing the glue left behind by labels, that's where things can get a little tricky. Not all glues are created equal. Sometimes, if you're lucky, the label glue will practically fall off after a good soak. Other times, you'll find yourself battling a stubborn, sticky mess that doesn't budge with just soap and water. And that's where eucalyptus oil comes in. After the jar is dried, and it's important that it's dry so that the oil can adhere properly, I apply a small amount of eucalyptus oil directly onto the stubborn glue spots. You'll notice almost immediately that the oil begins to dissolve the glue, loosening its grip on the glass. With a little patience and a soft cloth or scraper, the glue lifts away cleanly, leaving you with a perfectly clean jar ready for use. Now, you might ask, why go to all this effort? The answer is simple: cleanliness is critical in solar distillation. The jars we prepare will be placed inside the larger distillation vessel, often touching its floor and interacting directly with the environment where pure distilled water will form. If any dirt, glue, or residue remains, there's a real risk of contaminating the final water product, defeating the entire purpose of distillation. We seek more than water alone. We seek purity. After cleaning, I move on to the next stage: boiling the jars. I fill a large saucepan with water and bring it to a strong, rolling boil. Once boiling, I carefully add the jars into the pot and continue to boil them for 20 minutes. This boiling process helps to further sterilize the glass, killing any remaining bacteria or mold spores that may have survived the earlier cleaning. It's a traditional and highly effective method that ensures the jars are as clean and sterile as possible. Exactly what we want before distillation. After boiling, I remove the jars and allow them to sun-dry naturally. Rather than towel drying, which can leave fibers behind, sun-drying allows the jars to dry cleanly. And more importantly, the sun's ultraviolet light acts as a natural disinfectant, further sterilizing the jars without the need for harsh chemicals. Sunlight, particularly its UV rays, damages bacteria and mold at the cellular level. making it one of the oldest and most powerful disinfectants available to us. By the end of this process, you'll have a set of clean, sterilized, and sun-dried jars ready to be put to use in the next steps of the project. In the Kingdom of Shea, preparation is everything. Taking the time now ensures that when we begin distilling, we can trust in the purity of our results. In every great work, the foundation must be pure. Today we prepared our vessels. Tomorrow, we gather the sun. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to the Kingdom of Shea.